Greetings from Clan Widowmaker Training Command. This is Metaphor, speaking about competitive light tactics and team play. Today we look at a recent MRBC match versus 228. Very well established team. We will look at what went well, why it worked, what to avoid, and what things did not go so well. Let's begin by looking at our lances. Notice we are in 3 groups. Heavies in Assault in 1 lance, mediums in Light in Alpha and Charlie. This was done to get the caps and meet as a group as fast as possible. Here's a map to show the initial plan. The follow-up was to go back the way we came, stay stealthy, and regroup at Theta as a full force. It's key to follow the drop commander's orders. The speed of a light makes them tactically useful, but the same speed can get you into deeper crap way faster than any other mech. Let's see how it worked out here. Full speed to Kappa. Once we capped, we go back the way we came to rejoin with the main force. Here's an example of on-the-fly changes. We see that there are enemies spotted, and we see Sigma was not capped, so we change plans and make post-haste to Theta to rejoin the group. It seems like a small change, but seconds are a big margin for life and death in this game. We see there's already a UAV up, so definitely people at Theta. We could come behind them, but the call was to engage as a team. So we go to the team and give them ECM on arrival. The lights had already scattered, so we regroup as a force before the impending apocalypse. Now it does suck when you get your legs stepped on, but it is the burden of the most maneuverable mech to avoid the others. So we just get out of the circle for breathing room. This type of fire is not ideal, since it's a lot of heat for very little damage. But with nothing near us, or on seismic, this is acceptable. Now, let me make this very clear. Heat is the biggest battle you will fight in a light. Wasting heat is extraordinarily dangerous, as lights can rarely hold more than a few extra heat sinks. The other big battle for a light is, of course, movement. You need to keep it moving or you will get destroyed. This is by no means a perfect match, so I intend to show you where the movement is good and where it can be improved. The attack call is now made. The main force is moving in. We know where they are. At this point, I want to draw their attention high while the big guns go low. While the fire may not have been too useful, it did get their attention, and it worked well. I got back into cover. The damage that just hit that building was significant, all of it wasted. They are now hotter, and the battle is just about to ensue. But I need to get back out there, and draw more fire to heat them up and take attention away from our guys. This time I'll be a bit more judicious with my heat. My plan was to go around and distract the main body of the team, and this hunchback was trying to do the same thing to us. Once his side torso is done, he is hot, and I'm going to avoid the main fire of the team and also cool off. So I go around back and make another distraction. I am genuinely surprised that hunchback didn't die, but now I need to focus on the immediate threat of the cheetah. I should have focused his legs here, but at least it was a full solid shot to his left torso. Now I can't stay in this fight. The called target was Golf Kodiak. Now we all know how deadly Daka bears are, so I get on helping. Look, you can see the triangle is filled to show that others are targeting him. This is a small but important note that I popped my cool shot just before getting into this battle. I was already in the red zone after the cheetah, and an overheated light in front of a Daka bear is pure bad news. After finishing, I can see the team is hurting. We each have 6 pilots left, but they have a fresh firing line. It is the light's job to make a distraction. Now, a lot of people put in this position shy away from the big battle, but this is the perfect time to drink a tall glass of fuck it and do right by your team. I want to take a minute here to note that jump. I used 2 ledges to boost the jump. This is an effective yet not often used procedure to get yourself to a higher spot. If you hit a corner while ascending, you'll get a boost to your upward trajectory. This works only if you hit the corner below your center mass, so no face planting. Anyways, back to the distraction. I need to get in there now, no waiting, jump in, start creating chaos in the back. A quick note on this shot. The goal is to jump, release the jets, to fire the weapons more accurately, then goose the jets right before the landing, breaking the fall. It also expedites your acceleration. Now I hit a random pull on the way down, so it fucked that up a bit, but I still pumped the jets to keep up the acceleration. Here we neuter this Nova and move on to the called target, Foxtrot Warhammer. Remember, those called targets are always more important. The next nasty troll called is Echo. It's another Kodiak KDK-3. So I move on that target immediately. Now I see him fire right at me. Let's make this very clear. Never run straight at or away from your enemy. The arm damage would have been my left torso had I not juked. My shot was off a little bit because of it, which sucks, but I lived to fight on with all of my weapons. There is a very good reason I'm staying back here, and standing still. Heat. I was well into the 90s, and I already popped the cool shot. Staying still allows you to cool faster than running, so I used this very brief respite to cool for the final battle. That Kodiak is essentially fresh, so we need to core it as fast as possible. Normally I would never recommend overheating, but the Kodiak needed to go, so it was worth it. That guy could have cleaned up our whole team. Also a quick note on the aim. I almost missed because he torso twisted very well, but I know the dome heads of mechs are always center torso. Other examples: Atlas, Nightgyre, Grasshopper, Warhammer. Here obviously, Kodiak. So the next shot is honestly a waste. I should have held off until I had targeting info and a little more heat capacity. The target called while I was overheated was for a Timberwolf, which was not what I last shot at. Waking up and seeing him face-hugging my low health ally, I know that I will probably only get one shot. Again, overheating sucks, and should not be a common tactic. But it was a life or death situation for an ally, and in MRBC, you get points for saving your allies. So I risk it. Results were good. This match was not perfect. I made plenty of mistakes, but it does show you what you can do for a competitive team in a light, even if you aren't awesome. I created a lot of windows for others to get damage in as well. So let's look at how the stats capture that information. 3 kills and 5 assists. MRBC is an 8v8 setup, so I shot every enemy, and I killed nearly half. More than just the kills though, I touched everyone before they died, which means I was hitting the called targets. This was boosted a bit by the general chaos I was creating in the backfield. The big stat for this game is the 10 component destructions. This shows accuracy. A good light pilot takes those split-second opportunities to get in specific damage. We don't have enough weapons or heat capacity to spray and pray. If If you want to improve your accuracy, I highly recommend playing lights a lot. The faster pace will force you to be more accurate to keep up with yourself. Last big stat in the game is 7 savior kills. Our team was jacked up, and those savior kills are important. Now in a regular game, this would have made for a huge payout. With the above stats, the fact that I stuck with my team well, and the savior kills, I would expect that game to have generated 400,000 C-bills with premium time. At least. Now with a special 30% bonus mech, that would have been at least 520,000 C-bills. Do not underestimate the power of a light mech. If you have not mastered piloting lights, then you are not living up to your full potential as a pilot in MechWarrior Online. If you want to increase your skills and have questions, then send me an email. metaphortheunderdog@gmail.com.